You are now tuned into the DFPN, the Dat Feelin Podcast Network. The following introduction has been paid for by the Dat Feelin Podcast Network. This is the No Gimmicks Podcast. This is the No Gimmicks Podcast. Hosted by Frank D and Blak. This is the No Gimmicks Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special Friday edition of the No Gimmicks Podcast. I am Blak Makk, joined by Frank D, the fabulous Frankie D.
That's right.
Let me get all the other shit out the way first. Shout out to Plugs Earbuds. Shout out to Audio Swim. Shout out to Premier Element UAE. Thank you for sponsoring the podcast group. Subscribe to the Bandcamp, www.datfelon.bandcamp.com. Join the Patreon. This episode will be ad-free on the Patreon. And then we have the merch over at the Teespring. So go and cop the merch. Now, tonight was heavily hyped for months. This was the promising of the dawning of a new era in AEW. And tonight, they did not waste time. Opening of Rampage. The United Center is going absolutely apeshit off.
One second, bro. 1 second.
Go ahead.
So I'm looking at the chat right now, right? So we got Jessica who's watching this right now. She says it hasn't come on yet in Vegas. Jessica, I'm sorry, sweetheart, but CM Punk is fucking back.
Listen. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Free love. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we got to talk about this shit, bro. We got to talk about it. The United Center was going fucking bananas. As soon as the pyro and shit was done, the chants had started. And I don't know who made the call, but kudos to you, because you were like, we are not wasting time. Get them the fuck out there right now.
that's the only way that this show could have started is with CM Punk.
Okay,
you had to start it off the way. And I'm telling you right now, as a person who's been watching wrestling, sports entertainment since 1989, bro, I have never marked out as big as I did tonight watching CM Punk come back. The fucking cult of personality hit on the. I'm like,
oh my god,
whoa,
oh my god, dude, I got goosebumps now thinking about that shit. As soon as that shit hit, that place came absolutely unglued. It was, I said this earlier before we went on the air, I have not felt that way about a debut since the Attitude Era. I have not felt that way about And the crowd was just fucking unbelievable, bro. Like
Chicago
was fucking awesome.
Chicago has the best fucking fans.
Yes, they do.
It's between Chicago, New York have the best fucking fans.
Yes.
Period. And just marking the fuck out. Okay.
Bro, people in the stands fucking crying in the stands. Like, I was like, this is fucking amazing. This is amazing. And just like, I didn't even care that he took so long to get, because his whole intro played, and he wasn't even in the ring yet.
No, he wasn't in the ring yet. And it's just like Mike is saying right now in the group how you're still tearing up and watching the shit. Yes. I was just watching it before we started recording. I had to go back and watch it again because, like, man, it's like for certain people from certain organizations that have to toe the company line to come out and say that CM Punk was never as over as John Cena. What the fuck ever, bro. Go back to the summer of Punk in 2010, 11, and tell me he wasn't fucking over. Tell me CM Punk wasn't as over or more than John Cena was. That's bullshit.
You are correct.
You don't have a dude be gone for 7 fucking years and they're still chanting his name for still 7 years. Still chanting his name. You can't tell me that he was never over. Get out of here with that, man.
He is over. And like, tonight was like the culmination of, it was a culmination of such a long period of time because you had the buildup of like CM Punk chants and like anytime they were in Chicago, CM Punk chants were heavy. Anytime WWE went to Chicago. So and then like once the rumors, like once AEW started, the rumors were they need to get CM Punk over there. So it was like a gradual fucking build-up to this moment. And the fucking payoff, bro. Amazing.
Let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. And as Mike is saying right now, best in the world just ain't a fucking cash race. No, it's not. This dude is the best in the fucking world at emotion. And that's what it was tonight. The fucking wrestling business, as Dusty Rhodes once said, is built on emotions.
Yep.
That's what it's built on, emotion. And that's what you had tonight. You had emotion. You had 15,000 people, and however many of us was watching at home, emotionally invested in Rampage, emotionally invested in AEW, to fucking come out tonight and say, you know what? We're fucking all elite, and we're sick and tired of being spoon-fed bullshit. That the WWE monopoly has been spoon-feeding us since 2001 when WCW went out of business. It's a new day, it's a new time, and let's see if AEW can take it to the next level. And, I mean, Punk is not the only one, bro. We still got the debut coming up possibly of fucking Bryan Daniels.
Bro, if they do this shit, it is a fucking wrap. It is a fucking wrap for dog. Because tonight solidified AEW. It did. And we were talking about this shit. Yeah. Like, they need to deliver. And they absolutely knocked this shit out of the park. I told
you. I said earlier to you on Facebook in the messenger, a private message, I said, if they don't deliver Punk, they're fucked.
They're fucked,
because you would be the company that always comes out and says, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and you don't deliver. Tonight, they delivered.
Yep, absolutely. And the promo, like, not even the entrance, the promo too. The promo when he cut it, and then like he took off the sweater, and he had the merch sites all broke. They all.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one.
I know you are.
Yeah. So I know you are. I mean, the bottom line, man, is like it's a different passion because like I remember back in 2002 when that little NWA TNA company came about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people would come over on Wednesday nights on the pay-per-view, and it's a different feel now. It's not the same feel as when somebody from WWE would show up in Impact or TNA. This is us. Listen, whether people want to admit it or not, and whether WWE wants to admit it or not, AEW is fucking competition.
Oh,
whether
yes.
you want to admit it or not, they are your competition.
They are competition.
They're on a competition, and they're on. And quite frankly, the thing that I love the most about AEW is the fact that it's on the same fucking network that once whooped your ass before, and I'm talking about the old WCW. So that's the beauty part about it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
And the free ice cream bars.
Yes.
The free ice cream bars. That shit was amazing.
Yeah, that was money, bro. That was nutty. He was like, we're gonna give everybody, just grab you one. They're all free.
Right.
Like that was awesome. Bro.
And just think of the matches that you could possibly be seeing here in the future. You can have CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. You can do CM Punk versus Christian. You can do CM Punk versus a Matt Hardy. You can do CM Punk versus Andrade. You can do CM Punk versus Penta.
Bro,
I'm so many
excited.
People that you can put them in there. We could possibly even see CM Punk versus Sting.
We probably could. And it wouldn't make fucking sense. Exactly. Because he's doing Darby. He's doing Darby Allin is his first match at All Out. And how he set that up was great. He set it up perfectly. Knew he was up there. Look up there at him.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something, man. When I saw Sting up there in the Raptors, that was 13-year-old me in 97 watching WCW Nitro. Because I remember that building where Sting came. He was in the Raptors. He came down and came in there with Macho Man. They did that whole angle. So that's like AEW, honestly, is the closest thing we will ever get to WCW.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you in part by Get the Plugs. Go to www.gettheplugs.com and enter in code DFPN10 for a 10% discount. Liking this show, follow us, subscribe to this channel, and follow us on Patreon at www.patreon.com. Now back to the show.
You are right. And I really, as a wrestling fan, and I'm speaking to all the wrestling fans out there, like, I know a lot of us had lost our passion. Tonight brought that shit right the fuck out of me.
Let me tell you this.
Out of me.
So, as you know, a few weeks ago, I attended Dynamite in Austin, Texas.
Right.
And I said it was probably the best wrestling show I ever went to in my life. It was just everybody. The crowd was so energized. The crew there was having fun. The referee. Audrey. All the referees were having fun in the ring with Justin Roberts. They kept the fans engaged. Tony Schiavone was out there having fun as well. It was a different atmosphere. I went to Raw this past Monday night at the AT&T Center, the go home show for SummerSlam, and I was bored out of my fucking mind.
And that's bad.
Bored. I left the show. Usually I sit through the entire show. I stayed there through Dynamite, through Dark Elevation. I stayed there to the end of the night when Eddie Kingston did his farewell speech out there for us to go home and get on safe.
Right.
The other night the New Day came out there, I just got fucking left.
God,
I didn't even want. There was no energy for that show. That show is fucking horrible. And I'm not gonna come out here and say, I'll be a WWE hater. I'm not a WWE hater. I'm just sick and tired of them insulting our intelligence as fans. That show is crap. When you have the Peacock Network and WWE Network up there, and you have to basically go back and it's a bad thing for WWE because you have all that videotape up there, and you go back and see how it used to be.
Right.
How fun you used to be. Go back and see some of the Raws that used to happen in San Antonio. How fun they used to be. This shit the other night was crap, bro. It was horrible.
Yeah, you are right. And that's the key thing. What you said is the key thing. If the crowd's not having fun and watching your video, because you did post a couple of them of you at Raw, watching the video, the crowd wasn't engaged, and it's not like that. it portrays itself on TV, right? If the crowd's not engaged, it looks like the crowd's not engaged. I don't get that feeling from an AEW show. I don't.
No,
the crowd is engaged, damn near all night.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Mike's comment here, he says he took his daughter to the AEW in Denver right after Moxley won the championship, and his 6-year-old daughter was there with him, and she was in heaven and can't wait for AEW to come back. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
That right there is the passion that the fans have for it. And
exactly,
it's like Brian Zane says, like what you like, and don't be a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we already know. So Punk is going to be on AEW Dynamite this coming Wednesday. He has a match at All Out with Darby Allin.
Correct.
So I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to set up here, and where they're going to go from here. Now, being that Punk is now All Elite, what the fuck does this mean for the rest of the business?
Well, to WWE, they don't care about it. But if you didn't care about it, WWE, then you would never have Roman Reigns go out there and say the bullshit that he said. Why would he come out? Why would you automatically come out the night before CM Punk is the debut for the competition? Would he even mention him? If this was back in the day, in WCW day, Vince would never even have acknowledged this shit. Vince never acknowledged Eric Bischoff. Vince never wanted to acknowledge WCW on TV. And when he did acknowledge WCW on TV, you know what he said? He says, they exist, and they exist solely because of the World Wrestling Federation. That's what he would say. Yep. So, you trying to come out and have Roman Reigns, well, let's be honest about it here. I like Roman Reigns. I like his heel.
Yeah,
I like his heel work. He's been doing his shit. But, bruh, it only happened when you became a heel. What about what about the push that was happening before then that you were pushed down our throats, for the past few years? Main event WrestleMania after WrestleMania, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, whoever, Undertaker trying to get you over. You weren't doing jack shit, bro. And to be honest about it, you still ain't proving nothing, because now we're in a time now where the fans are back now. You were doing all this your best heel work was doing when you were in the Thunderdome. So let's see who's over. Let's see if you can maintain the momentum of being the head of the table and the tribal chief. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't give a shit about John Cena versus Roman Reigns because I've already seen it.
Right. To be quite honest with you, to be very honest with you, I watch SmackDown. Right? I like to look at SmackDown. I didn't even turn the shit on tonight.
And Roman. For Roman and the Usos.
Right. I didn't even turn the shit on today.
Right.
I don't need to watch it. I'm good. I am good.
Jessica Breedlove says that she's going to be at SummerSlam tomorrow. So she's going to let us know how the energy is inside the building.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what it's
I'm
like.
very curious about that, because it being a dome set or a stadium setting, I'm very curious to see how the acoustics are going to work.
Right. I'm interested in that too. Give us a report. Let us know what it's like. One thing I'm very interested on tonight is the ratings. I want to see the ratings for Rampage, and I want to compare that with the ratings of SmackDown.
Well, you can't. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so SmackDown is on before Rampage.
Right.
They're on. It's not necessarily direct competition.
Right.
So you can't really compare the two, because SmackDown is always going to be. SmackDown is always going to get the bigger rating than.
You're
Rampage.
right. What I want to know,
SmackDown's a 2-hour show. Rampage is a 1-hour show.
Right.
So we can't compare the two.
What I want to know, because I had this theory last week that the people that watch SmackDown kind of carried over into Rampage, right? So that was my theory. Like, you had a good crowd that watched SmackDown and was like, okay, let me get this third hour in with Rampage and see what it's talking about. Now I want to see, with Punk debuting tonight, I want to see what that rating looks like, because maybe you do have that influx of WWE fans that know Punk, and they also carry themselves over to AEW. And I want to see if that is actually what's actually happening.
Well, I tell you what, my friend. Don't be surprised if the number is not where we want it to be. Because you have some people out there that are WWE loyalists that refuse to watch AEW.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. That musician that's just starting out his career. First and foremost, go get you an ASCAP. Then it's going to have some information in there that you will need, like a UPC code. Yeah, you're going to need one of them. You know where you can get one of them from? AudioSwim. Go to www.audioswim.com. $5 a track. They'll get you set up. All that information you can put in the ASCAP, get paid for your music, and guess what? You off and running. AudioSwim.com. Go there today.
Then you have some people out there that are haters of AEW, but they need to watch AEW. If they don't watch AEW, then they don't have a fucking podcast.
True.
So we'll see where this goes. I'm not looking for big ratings numbers right now. It's a building process. AEW is doing fun. People shit on AEW's numbers, but people need to realize something. AEW has not been around that long.
No,
they're doing good numbers. They're doing better numbers than any other federation that would have came in at this point. They got a network behind them, okay, and very shortly they're going to be off of TNT, moving the show over to TBS. So we're going to see where that goes. Me personally, I think Rampage is eventually going to need another hour.
Oh yeah, most definitely, especially after the night. If you watch Rampage tonight, like, in my mind, I was like, this hour fucking flew by.
Right.
Because I was engaged the whole show. And what was really interesting to me is they had Private Party versus
Jurassic Express.
They had them right after CM Punk. And I was like, I was really skeptical of that match. I was like, I wouldn't have put this match right after CM Punk because it has the potential to flop. Because that crowd was fucking nuts, bro. It was nuts.
They were into the match. They were into the match. And they were hyping the fuck out of that match. The crowd was, because they were giving the crowd a reason to stay engaged to the show. Bottom line is that AEW has a lot of momentum right now. AEW needs to keep that momentum. And CM Punk will bring in the viewers, but it's up to AEW, Tony Khan, whoever's writing the show. It's up to them to maintain the viewership. Reading some of the comments here, going back up. Punk versus Omega. Yeah, Punk versus Omega. I think that would be match of the millennium, but that's who. I mean, it would be a good match. Don't get me wrong. It's a main event caliber match. It was great to see CM Punk come out here tonight and get the huge pop from the fans and all of that. But CM Punk hasn't wrestled in 7 fucking years.
This is true.
Since he's been gone, the style has changed a lot. It's gone from the style he worked in WWE to the more strong style of Kenny Omega, who bring that New Japan style to AEW. So that's why I was talking about. Can Punk hang? Especially Punk is an older guy now. Can Punk hang with a Kenny Omega?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes. The reason I'm gonna say yes is because he did do a lot of MMA training. So his body is kind of conditioned to the rougher parts of what they bring to AEW. Right. Now, whether his cardio is still in wrestling shape, I don't know that. That remains to be seen. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's ready. He's ready. I think he could still go.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I hope that he actually will get a win, unlike in MMA.
Yeah.
Although that was overturned, so
that is true. That's true.
He got it.
That is true.
Yeah. I'm just breaking balls.
Nah, I think. Well, it takes a lot of balls to step in there, and that dude went in there without a lot of training.
I agree. Man.
He didn't have that seasoned training that most of those guys have. So I give him all this props in the world for going in there and dealing with that shit. Cause they real. I ain't doing that.
So let me ask you this question real quick. So in saying that, when you look at AEW as a whole, as I brought up when you were gone, I said CM Punk will bring in the viewers. It's up to AEW to maintain them. And
you're right.
Do you think AEW can do that? I mean, because let's be honest here, we're all feeling good tonight. CM Punk came back. There's still a lot of bullshit on that show.
You are right. You are right. Now, if they can weed that shit out, if they can weed it out and bring a good product, yes, they will keep them. But it's gonna take a little bit of work. You know what I mean? Because you have guys like you have a Miro on your show, you have John Moxley on your show, you have fucking not Blackheart, fucking Malachi Black on your show. Like you have names on your show now.
Lance Archer.
Yep, you have names on your show. And if you could put this together where you have a solid story from guys like that, and you can elevate some of your younger talent to make them look good, i.e. MJF, yes, you can keep the viewers. God.
Bro, I didn't even think about MJF. I mean, MJF versus CM Punk. Did you imagine that banter on the mic going back and forth between MJF and CM Punk? My God.
Fucking money. And this is why I'm so excited, because
but don't forget that we got a lot of young cats in AEW too that can use that rub, and not just MJF. I'm talking about you got Ricky Starks back there.
Yep.
You got fucking Powerhouse Hobbs back there.
Yep.
You got a bunch of cats back there. You got Dante Martin's fucking coming up. You got a bunch of
talent. You have a bunch of talent that you can elevate, which is why I loved his promo, because his promo was, all right, I want to work with some of these young guys, and then immediately calls out Darby Allin, which I thought was great. So him starting,
but Darby Allin called him out first.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Like, if you are the best in the world, come to Chicago.
Right.
He said, "Here I am." Right. Here I am. Yeah. So it's a great time to be a wrestling fan, bro.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's a fucking great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah. This is like I said before. This is, to me, feels it feels like, you know, the Monday Night War kind of, but different.
Yeah.
And it's actually real competition. And with the releases, the amount of releases that WWE has had in the past few months, I mean, who else do you think AEW could pick up? And I'm not saying like AEW is a place where everybody needs to go there and they need to be hiring everyone. You don't want to do that. But if there are people that can go to AEW that can help AEW, I think those people they should be looking into. And I mean, it's a no, you know, I mean, I don't even think about it. Bray Wyatt can help AEW.
Bro, if fucking Bray Wyatt shows up in AEW, it's gonna be fucking bananas.
You know what's funny?
It's gonna be fucking bananas.
You know what's funny though? Bray Wyatt's no compete clause with WWE comes to an end around Halloween. So let's say that AEW was to put on a Halloween kind of Havoc kind of show, a Halloween themed show somewhere, and a Bray Wyatt shows up on that. Because my thing is the guy came up with his character himself, and I'm pretty sure at this point we all know that WWE probably owns the intellectual properties of the Fiend and Bray Wyatt, but he's smart enough to come up with something else himself. Look at Aleister Black. Malachi Black is working.
Exactly.
So, you know, you can work something with that, but I think that he would be a good addition to the roster in AEW. And I mean, it's money.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This episode is brought to you in part by Premier Element UAE. Go to premierelement.com and get that representation that you need today. You need a copyright? Go there. You need someone to represent you while you getting your career off the ground? Go there. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. They take care of you there. Remember, it's premierelement.com.
Not to mention, and I'm going to throw this out here, the Bullet Club is slowly forming itself to invade AEW.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the God little face to face with the Good Brothers, and you're right. It's either going to be AEW or it's going to be Impact. It's one of those two places.
It's one or the other. It's one or the other.
Yeah. And I also saw the AAA championship match between Andrade and
Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega the other day, and Ric Flair. So now let me tell you, I have a newfound respect for the Nature Boy, and it's simply because Ric Flair didn't even get paid for that. He did that on his own. He did that as a favor to Andrade. He flew himself. Yeah, he flew himself there on a private jet. Okay. And went out there with him. He did that for free. They didn't even pay him for that. He went out there and did that. Yeah. So I have a newfound respect for Ric Flair. And I think it's pretty safe to say we're going to see eventually Ric Flair in AEW.
Oh, yeah.
If he doesn't wrestle, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have an issue with it at all.
He could be a manager. And he could do what he's doing. He could do what he did at AAA. Just go with Andrade.
Yeah.
And I think it'll work. But as far as the releases go, I would like to see a couple women in AEW.
Yeah.
A couple of them. Number one, I'm going to throw this out here. We got CM Punk tonight. Is there any chance we can get an AJ Lee in AEW?
I knew you were going to say that, and I think it's a possibility if it's the right, if she's even focusing being in wrestling. Yeah, she can go there and she can do some damage.
Yes, she could,
because their women's division needs something, and they got Thunder Rosa there. That's an improvement. They can bring in Serena Deeb was another improvement over there. Yep. They had Kiera Hogan tonight. Jade Cargill is another one that they had out there. And I talked about Jade and Kiera a little while when you were gone, and I said that I don't think that they should have been on the show tonight, and it's simply because
they need a better look.
Yeah,
they need a better look.
That's a dark match. That's an AEW dark match. They need something when you Rampage. You don't want Rampage to end up being WCW Thunder.
Right.
You don't want that. You know what I mean? So I think that you need to. That's where Tony's got to go in there and realize we need to who we can put on this show and the reasons why we need to be on this show, and not just stick somebody out there.
Right.
This needs in Chicago.
This needs to be an A show that's not an A show. You know what I mean? It needs to be that, because the 2 weeks in a row now they've had hard hitting shows, right? Yeah. So if you're gonna focus on that, I would say make that. You know how they used to have like the Saturday night main events? Like it was a big deal. It was a big deal. But you know what I mean? They put the talent they wanted to feature on that show. Mm. I think if they go that route, then Rampage is going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah, but like I said, Rampage is starting off like Thunder did. When Thunder first started, they had the big stars on there. You had Macho on there, you had Hogan. I just don't want to see the show fall into that territory of Thunder when Thunder was really, really bad.
Right.
AEW, you got enough roster people over there, you got enough wrestlers over there, you can do something special. I'm just like,
don't mess it up. You do a lot of good shit on there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's my whole thing. Is don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I agree with that. So with that being said, anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, shit, bro. I mean, what else is there to talk about? You know what I mean?
Nothing. Well, we could talk about SummerSlam, but it won't mean as much. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can talk about it. I call it Summer Scam myself.
Did tonight do damage to tomorrow? Is what I'm asking.
No, I don't think it did.
You don't think it did?
No, people are still going to go. I mean, the thing about it is that, you know, I can watch because I'm like this. I can watch AEW and still watch WWE, and I'm not picking one side or the other. I'm just saying right here, I think that WWE sucks, and I have reason to say that because I was there.
I agree with you.
That's all it is. It's not, you know, I'm saying, oh, one's better than the other. I'm talking about the momentum is on AEW side right now. But like I said before, when I was coming up, I watched WWF, I watched WCW, I watched ECW, I watched, you know, NWA TNA, NWA Wildside, all that shit. I was more of a WCW guy throughout the Monday Night War. So I'm more partial to AEW because it reminds me of WCW.
Yeah, me too. So I was a WCW guy.
Yeah.
And now that we have something on TNT, and it just feels like what WCW was.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It does. It gives me that feeling. And unpredictability. It gives me that feeling. And
to get the ad-free version of this show, what you need to do is go to the Patreon. That's right. We are on Patreon. www.patreon.com/thatfeelingpodcast. And if you join our $10 group, you will be entered into exclusive drawings quarterly. That includes cash prizes, gift certificates, and we have game nights that you will be a part of for prizes and certificates as well. So remember, go to Patreon, www.patreon.com/thatfeelingpodcast. Enjoy the rest of the show.
I love what they're doing with the stories, and at least there's there's always callbacks in AEW, and I love that. I love it because it means they care about the shit that they're putting out. They're not just gonna give you like a story and then the shit's ending in like 3 weeks. Like there's gonna be a callback at some point.
You know who's responsible for the creative in AEW from what I read?
Who's that?
That's Tony Khan and QT Marshall.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's what I read.
Kudos to him. Kudos to him. I would give him all the props in the world for that shit.
Well, I would too as well. But see, AEW, you need somebody in there like a Frank D. All right. I was a fan. Listen, I was a fan of WCW too, so I got ideas out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Like, come on, let's have that. Let's have Batman come to Haddonfield and grab the Michael Myers.
Are you serious right now or no?
Dead ass. Think about
and
that.
You do that. I know you do that shit too. I know you.
Think about that crossover.
I know you would. You absolutely would.
Yeah, I gotta turn my water bottle around because we're not sponsored by the Dasani.
Nah. I was talking to somebody about water the other day, and I'm like, Dasani's fucking gross, bro. Stop drinking Dasani.
Hey, you know what? I'm drinking Dasani right now, and it's fucking great.
No, bro. No. Now, can someone help me out? Not all water tastes the same.
Hey, listen. This is a part of the show where we're slacking because we're talking about fucking water.
No. Because wrestlers drink water too. And you know what they drink? Not fucking Dasani.
Right. Hey, so I got a question for you.
What's up?
So, did you watch the television show Sons of Anarchy?
Yes.
Okay. What was your opinion of the last episode, Papa's Goods?
I wasn't really high on it. Why?
Oh, I'm just, because I was reading I binge watched all of fucking season 6 and 7, and because I saw, I've binge watched this shit over 100 times by now, but it got me thinking, right, about Abel. You know what I mean? And the son, exactly,
Yeah.
Abel and Thomas. Wouldn't it be fucking great if they were to come back with another show which followed Abel and Thomas?
Well, I think they could do that, I think they could do that by setting up the show they got now, Mayans.
The Mayans, yeah. See, I've never watched an episode of Mayans. I've seen clips recently of the Mayans. I was never going to watch Mayans. I refuse to sell out. I'm sorry.
No, Mayans is good. It's a good show.
Right. It's all right, but see, here's the problem with that. The problem with this situation is that they fired Kurt Sutter from the Mayans, so he's no longer.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they fired him, I think last year or the year before. Yeah, he's no longer involved in it. So he says that, pretty much, they were going to do the first 9 show, which was the first 9 members of Sam Crow.
Right.
And he says more than likely it's not going to happen because, unfortunately, he doesn't own the IP to the Sons of Anarchy. Fox and Disney do.
Well, yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah. So
that's kind of true.
So I was just looking back on it, and I'm like, I really miss, that real episodic TV, like, Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. Or, there's another show I was watching called Gotham. I
Gotham was good.
Yeah, I miss that show. And there's nothing to watch on TV now. And I used to remember, I'm like, bro, I used to watch Monday Night fucking Raw when Raw was good. And it was Monday night was like must-see fucking TV. You just had to fucking watch Raw, and now the shit is garbage. There's no must-see TV Monday night.
Had me fucking watching Law and Order. I didn't even fucking like Law and Order. I just didn't want to fucking change the channel.
And speaking of that shit, I ain't even fucking got done watching the Law and Order. What was the new one that came out? Law and Order. Stabler's back on it. Organized Crime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have not done watching that one yet either.
Yeah, I used to be all over Law and Order, and then they switched that shit to NCIS, and I used to watch all that shit because you know what, Raw's about to come on, and I need a reason to be at my grandma's house, so I'm watching Law and Order, and I'm watching Raw right after that.
Bruh, that's what I'm talking about. My grandma, God rest her soul. She was watching Stone Cold back in the day. All right. She was into the shit. She was watching Austin, and she was watching McMahon when Vince thought he was God. He had his own religion, McMahonism. She was watching all that shit. Okay? Mm-hmm. You tell me how many senior citizens of ours today are watching this shit.
None. They probably tell you stop watching that shit now.
Well, I tell you what, someone told me, it was a older woman, she's no longer with us. She told me that when she saw Zach Gowen's leg come off, she was done. She never watched it again. When they pulled his fucking leg off, she was finished.
Oh yeah, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. just like right now, I'm gonna pull the leg off of this fucking podcast, and I say it's time for us to take it on home, baby.
We're going to the pay window. Going to the pay window, baby.
Yeah, sign in the pay window. As Dusty would say, big tits on the mothership.
Yep, let's do it. So, thank y'all for tuning in to No Gimmicks, man. We had to do this episode because we had to strike while the iron was hot. Thank y'all for tuning in. We had a good crowd tonight too, so yeah, pretty decent crowd. So
yeah, we either this is a gradual thing. We're gonna grow. Hey, we're always open for business. You know what I mean? We're always open for business. We'll sell anything.
Yeah. But thank y'all for tuning in. Come back next time here on the No Gimmicks podcast. See y'all later. Peace.
Peace.